Is your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome, you 3,000 plus miracles and drama queens. It is, of course, Friday evening, and we are here to transition from the week to the weekend. Tomorrow we have Barrow in the FA Cup second round. Who's looking forward to that? Give us a hands up. And we've got lots to talk about. Obviously, Cookie met with the press over, I think it was this morning, could have been yesterday, this morning or yesterday. We've got some quotes to pull out from there. We've got a live active chat for you, which is absolutely buzzing. We truly love that. We've got Rob in the chat. Rob Holmes, welcome in. Good evening, Jason Clayton. Good evening, Josh. Good evening, Alex, who got his first case of away day beers. Look at that. Look, Alex is winning at life. Winning, I tell you. He's going to be having a great weekend with the away day beers. If you've not yet got one, if you've not yet had one, why on earth not? I had one for the show, but sadly, it was so good. I drank it before I went live. Like an 18-year-old on a night out for the first time, pre-drinking. And I've run out of beer already, sadly so. But you never know. Management might be downstairs watching this, and I might get another one appear through the green screen curtain. Welcome in Mike, who says my mate's a Barrow fan, and he never thought he'd be playing each other in the FA Cup second round. I know it's not great, is it? Don't forget you can support us through Ko-fi. Hang on, wait, we got a prediction league. Let me get the link for that. Actually, the Barrow game is in our prediction league this week, so you may want to play. It is free to enter, takes about 60 seconds, although there are less games this week, so it probably will take 30 seconds. You've got Ipswich Town versus Barrow, surely a home banker, he says. Colchester versus Wigan. Luke Chambers apparently scores. Did I really read right that he scored a hat-trick during the week? Because someone in the chat just confirmed that for me, because I'm sure I read that and thought I must have had too many away day beers and went back to bed. Tottenham versus Norwich is the last game of our prediction league. 3 fixtures. You need to get 3 scores right on the money. 3 points for the right prediction. If you get it right, you could possibly win some prizes coming into the season. And as it's Christmas, you never know, I might do some prizes next week. Also available, we've got this from the Cruncher. Here's your chance to treat a loved one this Christmas. Support the amazing Each Hospice. Bid on two director's box for a game of choice, subject to availability, with free program, team sheet, hot drinks, and parking. I believe the current highest bidder is, drum roll please, Nicola Upson with £500. So if you want to beat Nicola, then do so. I think probably via Cruncher's Twitter page, but we never know. Right, bring in a contributor. Here we go. Matthew Phillips, here he is. How are you doing? How are you?
Good, thanks. Got a little message for you. It's beginning to look a lot
like Christmas.
You got that tree? Yeah.
No, have I held? I've got to get a new green screen design, and I'm all for Christmas now. I've got a Christmas hat somewhere, but I can't find the bugger. But
we're not in the mood for Christmas, Chair. Did you not watch the EFL Trophy game in the week?
Oh, you're a drama queen. You're a drama queen. You are just a drama queen. All right, I'm not having some of that drama queen today. All right, just going to warn you now. No drama queen.
Italian football should look. Go Lazio! Big shout.
I'm going to get a merchandise with the hashtag drama queens on it, because You know, I know a few. Cook is by that comment
Yeah.
says Matt. Also, 3-course meal in the Hall of Fame restaurant has been added. Cruncher collecting presents like his father Christmas.
Well, I was thinking this the other day. Why is that not still called? What was it? The Centre Spot, wasn't it?
It's called the Hall of Fame, isn't it?
A far better name for the restaurant than
That's where the Hall of Fame is. Did you know that?
It's in there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it'll get knocked down soon, that cobalt stand, won't it? And have to redo it.
Off, William, man.
You'll have to come and sit with me.
Oh, yeah, like I'm going to be trying to do tomorrow. I don't know about that. Rob Smith. Cook's starting to feel the pressure, strange comments this week. Matt, I want to say a quick and huge thank you to all of our Ko-Fi contributors. They're the guys and girls that support monthly and keep the platform able to run, grow. And this week, yourself and Crunch were beneficials of that, because tell the people at home, if they've not yet seen it, what you did, who it was with, and where they can catch it, courtesy of all these wonderful Ko-Fi contributors on the screen.
What do you mean the Talking Town lot meeting Connor Chaplin? Is that what we're talking about?
That's the one. Yes.
The Talking Town lot that would go away after a couple of months.
That Talking Town lot.
They interviewed a player. Wow.
They did, Connor Chaplin,
Yeah,
for 30-odd minutes. Thanks to those Ko-Fi contributors that allow the platform to do those type of things. You can support us through Ko-Fi or through YouTube Super Chats. But how good was it to sit down with a current player?
It was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And again, it's one of them moments we come back to. We never thought we'd interview owners. We never thought we'd go to podcast award finals. We never thought we'd be interviewing players. And, you know, it keeps the Talking Town train keeps rolling down the track, doesn't it? It was really good.
It does.
And what a nice guy as well, wasn't he? Gave us all the time in the world. He was a top man.
He was a top man, great guy. We had the wheel in action.
You like the wheel?
Some great questions like, is Jaffa Cake a cake or a biscuit?
Yeah.
One of my favourites didn't get asked, sadly, which was
what was it?
Christmas decorations, November or December, because that would have, you know, I could have really formed an opinion on the guy from that one. But
it was really good, really enjoyable. It was one of them interviews where you're kind of buzzing for the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Because again, it's another feather in the cap for Talking Town. And a big one of them to everyone who doesn't like us.
Well, yes, put some salt down.
Big thanks to the club and Marcus and all that who helped us. And
I think it was good from their perspective, because it was obviously good PR, but also people know a lot more about the player now, and there were some good comments on social media about how much they enjoyed it, and also now like him a bit more. We were going with the angle of like old match and shoot Q&A. Do you remember that? The magazine Q&As they used to do in like the 80s. That's kind of the angle we went to. Because, you know, if you want to talk about tactics, you want to talk about managers, East Anglian Daily Times are doing that day to day. So we thought we'd just try and represent the 100% fan base, the Talking Town community, and have a fun interview. And the club seemed to enjoy it, and Connor enjoyed it. And so everyone's happy. So don't worry about a train to Gateshead for 7 hours, Cookie. Just give us a call. And the Will is ready and waiting with some good questions for you. I promise. And no drama queens.
What train's he on if it takes 8 hours?
And no drama queens. I can assure you of that, all right? Robson Blues. I would rather not have Christmas for 10 years and go up. I'm with you. I'd rather sell a body part and go up than not, you know. Ben Moore, it's the best stand in English football. Matt, don't you know about the Cobble stand? Stephen Perry, when did the players get blamed for anything if they do bad for this manager? They wouldn't. Welcome to football, Stephen. You tell me the last time a player got sacked for poor performance, and I'll concede it. It's always the manager.
Always say to people, if you go out to a restaurant, you have a lousy meal, you go into a shop, the service isn't good. You don't ask to talk to that geezer over there, do you? You say, I want to speak to the manager. The manager is the overarch of everything.
He is. But equally, some players do have to look at themselves and their performances and ask themselves, are they perhaps, you know, doing as much as they could? But for all the Cookie drama queen stuff you come up with, there's always the yin to the yang, the yin to the out. And this man here, I believe, is in. Robbie D! In the room, in the house. Here he is.
Good evening. How are we doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
How are we doing, guys? I think it was a really, really big thing for the channel, for the show, to get Connor Chaplin on. But I think what we all want to see next week is Martin Lambert directly interviewing Aaron Drinnan. That's the content we all want to see.
Yes. No, it's not.
For the people.
No, it's not.
I've not seen the Don since the Morecambe game. Where have you been?
No.
I've been floating around in the corridors of iFollow, my friend.
He has. He's been having babies, making families, and
Only one. Well, as far as I know, anyway.
One that he knows.
One is enough.
Found that one out the hard way. Still find it out the hard way.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, gone off and had a little baby. Congratulations on that. Welcome back to the mad and bad world of Talking Town. Guaranteed to piss somebody off in the next 60 minutes, and guaranteed to make someone very happy in the next 60 minutes. We were just talking about Paul Cook there, and I was saying about a yin to a yang. Tell us your position on Mr. Cook, please, Mr. Davis.
Oh, you said just before it cut to my intro that I can't believe you. By the way, at the end of the intro, where's the little bit about we had to win? I can't remember the little line now.
Oh, it's there. I've just cut. Yeah. We had to win to go top of the league, and we didn't bother. Yeah. Town doing that since 1992.
It's aged really well. No, I'm not so much in. I'm just abstaining, I think, is the right word because
it's not House of Commons, mate. We ain't voting on a bill. I'm abstaining from this one for my political record.
At least we're our crowd turn up, unlike the House of Commons. But yeah, I mean, overall, I can completely understand everyone's doubts, concerns, worries, things about him being too stubborn, not changing the formation. We've all read it, we've all seen it, we've all heard it. We could go on for hours about it. I completely get it because I watch this. I'm buzzing to watch that team of players, and I'm frustrated as hell when I watch that team of players. There's a line at the start of the game when it goes over it, and then you just end up being more frustrated than ever, really, because you've got the players now. Whereas last season, it was always okay. You've got a couple of good players, your Downs, Dazelles, but you've still got Drinnan, Hawkins, and so on. So it was you weren't really expecting much, and you didn't get much. So now, obviously, you've seen what someone like Selena can do in the last week. Yep. Then you've seen that he also missed possibly the most casual penalty I've ever seen. So
very true. And
we've got the players to do it, but we are miles off it. I wouldn't begin to deny it.
And let's pick it up. Obviously, you mentioned that penalty. Let's pick it up with before you can go forward. You sometimes have to look backwards. And let's round up Arsenal. Obviously, we weren't live last night. The game was Wednesday. Myself, Steve, and Neil were your match day ticket team, and Neil obviously wasn't very happy. I wasn't very happy. And let's start with the Arsenal debacle. Before we start with that, let's hear from Matt.
It's absolutely embarrassing. We've just lost to teenagers.
And it happened again, Matt. But this time we not only got beat by teenagers, we were leading 2-0, and then we allowed them to beat us. Talk me through your Arsenal.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that Arsenal under 21s have obviously beaten us at Portman Road twice, right? Yeah. I think. So they've got a better record at Portman Road than Arsenal.
That's true. That's very true.
And by some strange coincidence, Luke Penning, who's in the middle of that bit of footage, is also in the chat. How you doing, Luke?
Yeah, I see. Justice for Drinnan, didn't it?
Justice for Drinnan.
It was just a joke. It was a joke, wasn't it? So we've now lost twice to two under 21 teams this season. At Portman Road.
Yeah. Don't forget Newport County as well.
And Newport, and we squeezed past Colchester on pens thanks to the width of the post.
Actually, we've played quite a lot of League Two and under 21 teams when you throw in Oldham as well, and they're all at home, and we've underperformed in every single one of them. I would say.
It doesn't bode well if we get relegated, does it?
No, I would happily not see that second team ever again, to be honest. Maybe let's just go out tomorrow and we'll just play league games from now on.
They were 2-0 up, though. And Joe Piggott said this about the game. It was massively disappointing to go out, especially after we had a 2-0 lead at half-time. It's pretty unforgivable, really. And to go out on penalties is a real shame. Unfortunately, we're not going to have the extra opportunities playing the trophy. So we're just looking forward to Saturday now. Is it unforgivable, guys? 2-0 up against the under-21s. You can't moan as an EFL club about them having their team in the competition if you're not only going to get beat by them twice in a season, but surrender a 2-0 lead, Matt. Yeah. That's more than disappointing.
It's pitiful. B, typical Ipswich. No one expected us to win the penalty shootout, right? Finished 2-2. Did everyone have that sense of dread I had? We're going to lose this.
Yeah.
I was surprised we won against Colchester, frankly. So I was expecting one of the many Ipswich players, maybe Chambers, to pop up with a winning penalty. I mean, it was written, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was.
And we all thought it. Come on.
I'm actually on the halftime show. The last line of the halftime show, Rob, is me saying, "Surely we can't fuck this up." And then I hit the outro music. Literally, that's the last line.
The thing is, in that game, we were just off it enough to lose one goal, and then from the kickoff they got the ball straight back and they just knocked it around it for 3 minutes. And the next time we touched the ball was when we kicked off again.
It's just
the centre spot. The centre spot's the most used thing in Portman Road. The amount of goals we
just seem to conjure up new lows the whole time. When you just don't think anything else can get worse. You've lost to West Ham 21s. You've squeezed past Colchester on pens. Terrible against Oldham in the cup. We only survived that because they missed the pen.
You're a drama queen, you. I ain't telling you again. You're a drama queen. Stop being a drama
queen. Yeah, I mean, I'm only spouting facts, but if that makes me a drama queen, so be it. And now we've dropped a 2-goal lead against teenagers, and we've lost on penalties.
Surely we can't fuck this up. Be a decent TT shirt. I like it. I'm going to get George onto the case straight away. I like that one. Do
you know what struck me about that game was, I don't know if anyone watched it or listened to it, whatever, with Luke Himes' commentary on, or what you want to call it, summarising on radio stuff, wasn't he? One of the things he said in the first 10, 20 minutes or something is that, Arsenal, like any Premier League club, their youth team or their academy is going to be built to play football a certain way. All those players, technically good players, but they've never played men's football, get in your face, League One, League Two football. Really, when you talk about League One, League Two, you think Steve Evans teams, don't you? That's the kind of football I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? They've not played that. So he was commenting that we need to get in their faces, rough them up, let them know it's not sort of you pass it around, then we pass it around, then you pass it around, then we pass it around. I would have thought, if Luke Himes, coming up with that analogy, I would have thought someone in the club would have done it, but they showed no signs of being physical with them at any time, really. Any time.
And that's how the 2 goals came about, wouldn't it, Mike? Through a bit of a press, really.
Yeah. Really, yeah. And you have to say, on paper, if you're talking about a footballing team, this is the age-old question at the moment, isn't it? Is the academy of a top Premier League team or top 10 Premier League team these days better than a League One, League Two team in terms of footballing ability, straight up footballing ability?
I would say
that's the question, isn't it? And what we've seen, maybe yes.
Yeah, good question. And I would say yes, because you consider most Premier League teams like Arsenal, Chelsea have players out on loan. If everyone was back, then I would say without a doubt probably yes, which is a sad state of affairs.
Well, this is the reason why you are seeing these 21 teams in the EFL Trophy, because Greg Dyke, who was the FA chairman when I was there, wanted like you get in Spain and Italy, B teams, and in Germany, B teams playing in the 3rd tier and below, which would kind of bugger up the pyramid as we see it. So the compromise was the EFL Trophy.
And I think if you see the results of the under-21 teams, they're either winning, like they did against us or whatever, they're winning, close games, or they're getting battered 4-5-1 by Rotherham or something, or Lincoln, or Port Vale. You know what's happened. One of those games where they've been in a game and the dark arts of football have been done better by a Port Vale than Everton's under-21s, for example.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's how you beat them. But if you try and play football against them, it's a lottery, isn't it?
They need to bin off the EFL Trophy and just bring back the Anglo-Scottish Cup or something. The Anglo-Italian.
Oh, yeah.
You have to do that in COVID. Maybe just the Anglo-Scottish. Bring the Irish in as well, Mark Dowling.
The only person who would want to go to Aberroth away is Cruncher. Behave yourself. Behave. But who? Yeah.
We'd lose there and all.
We would. We lose everywhere we go. Who had Caden Jackson on their bingo card as best player Tuesday night? Not many people, I'd have thought. Let's get a few comments. We've got Mark Dowling, Matt. Very short memories, guys. Do you not remember the devil we watched Lambert put us through last few seasons? Our football's a billion times better. As for the Tin Pot Cup, stop pretending it mattered. I wouldn't say it matters, Matt, but the way we lost matters.
I think we're all just tired of that kind of defeat. As soon as we conceded one, you could see a second one coming, and then from there on, it was just how are we going to lose it in open play or penalties? I thought so.
It was a great opportunity to get to Wembley, Rob. We're one of a hand. You can count on one hand clubs that have not played at Wembley Stadium. We are on that. Barrow have played at New Wembley Stadium. Everybody,
I know.
It's a depressing stat. We've got the
physicality's gone from the game. I know what he's saying, absolutely, but I think exactly what I was about to say. They were better than us in every way, weren't they, when we played them? They were better physically. They were better on the floor. They scored a hell of a goal, which we've not scored anything like this season, really, apart from the Selena, obviously. So I think it's past a successful team, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, Acklet and Stanley, I think, are a bit like that. Matt Winger, welcome in, Matt. Nice to see you. Not seen you in a while. It just shows whatever team he's put out, we are not capable of holding to a lead. Paul Cook has no in-match man management skills. Well, hopefully, maybe helping him will be John McGreal, Rob, because McGreal has arrived to help out on 2023. Cook said this on the appointment. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt, I think it's always good when clubs have former employees in the ranks. I think especially from possibly successful times and that feel-good factor. John's lived in the community now for a long time. He's a good guy. managing. He's been coaching, got good experience, loves Ipswich Town Football Club. So is it a potential successor, Rob, to Cook in the waitings, in the wings, as many feel? Or should we be aiming our sights high when that time eventually does come? Is it going to help the club? Is it going to help Cookie? How do you see McGreal's appointment sort of coming into the tapestry of Ipswich Town?
I think for me, firstly, I would agree with what you said. I think it is good to have the ex-professionals when you played at a higher level. Obviously, he played in the Premier League for us and whatnot, at more successful times. He has been a manager, so it's not like he's learning his trade coming here to get a job somewhere else in the way Liam Richardson probably was. Well, I don't know if he was intending to, but that's how it ended up. So I think it's a good thing coming in. As for replacing him, we've already got Peter Reid there. I mean, people said the same thing. I think Peter Reid gets the job ahead of John McGreal if it really comes to that.
I'm not saying it. I'm just asking. I'm getting pelters in the chat here. I just saw
deservedly so. Yeah, deservedly so.
I'm posing the questions.
You've got to remember, this guy took Colchester to the point where they had to sign players like Luke Chambers to survive.
I think they regret letting him go. It's a bit of a BCWFYF, isn't it? Be careful what you wish for situation. With
how many letters were in there?
BCWYF.
Yeah, all said that.
Is that on your notepad, or you do it off the top of your head?
Yeah, I've just written it down.
No, I think overall, if the manager was to go, I think we would be. I have no doubt we'd be assessing our sights higher. But Eddie Howe's gone to Newcastle now, hasn't he? So I don't know where we go, really.
Yeah, Wild is at Barrow. Matt, what could he bring to the setup as a drama queen that you are?
Yeah.
What do you feel about this? Does this help ease the drama in your queen?
I put a tenner on us to win the title this year. I've lost that. I can't cash out. It's gone. It's gone to Paddy Power, whoever it is. I would put some money on John McGreal being our caretaker manager at some point this season. Absolutely.
I could see a caretaker. I think he'd be better fitted to a 1-2. You remember when Burley, when you had Mowbray, didn't you, for a month or 2-3 games, whatever it was, before Royal.
I can see.
He's not getting a job, but he'll take it for a couple of games. I can see that.
Well, I would say he might take it more than that. I can see a situation where we're probably not going to go down. We're not going to go up. I could probably see him taking it for the rest of the season. And a manager who played 4-2-3-1 at Colchester, by the way, everybody, 200 games plus. And they'll get the guy they want in the summer. Maybe that guy.
Do you think that's one of those things where if you do it, let's say it happens tomorrow, I don't think that happens then because it's still wide open. If that happens in March, April, a bit like when Mick went, when you knew the season was dead, but you still got 5-10 games, whatever. Maybe you're right then. He does a stopgap, He's the interim's interim, isn't he?
Why is Crewe busy?
Give it Giggsy to end the season.
Why is Crewe busy?
No, it's Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer's in the run, mate, 5-1 just behind Alan Pardew.
It's very weird timing, isn't it? You've had this debate about defensive coaches.
Yeah.
We know Cook was trying to get him in around the summertime, and then suddenly he comes when, top two's gone. We're nearer the relegation zone, everybody, than we are Rotherham at the top of the table. So
you drama queen, man.
Facts. Hashtag facts.
And what do I always say? Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's going to happen, Rob. I think that's going to happen. I think McGreal will be.
I can see what you're saying. If obviously it does go south and he does go, I can see what you're saying. That would be logical, at least for a couple of games. But it all depends on what time it happens. Because if they decide, soon, I think he only goes soon if they've got someone to come in straight away. Whereas if it's later on, perhaps they just need him gone rather than need the other guy in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think if they want, it's probably not available. That conversation's got to be happening right now. You saw what happened.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Obviously, under Evans, obviously everyone was, is he even paying attention? Does he watch it? I mean, how does he know what's going on? Who knows really what he's doing? So I think everyone felt like you need to push to get a manager out because
it's your turn now, Matt. It's your turn for the pelters.
What's this? Now you're saying
said
Johnny Mac
wouldn't be here at Christmas, Matt, and now you're saying Johnny Mac temp. Absolute.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can see John McGreal taking this job to the end of the season at some point, and Ipswich will then get who they want probably late in end of the season. So you've got that start of that summer pre-season. Yeah, I can see that happening. Absolutely.
Right. Anyway,
hang on, I've got to talk to the camera. Hang on. I've got to talk right to the camera here for a moment. I'm really sorry about this drama queen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we know he's a drama queen. He loves the drama, and what he's saying can't quite be believed. But he's on the show, so
I'll have some more wine. Romanian, sadly. I'm back on the.
I apologise for your drama queenness tonight, Matthew.
How dare you point out facts?
Calm down. Calm down. Right, Matt, Pigott.
Yeah.
He said he needs to run a games. He said today, or he said at some point, it's been a massively frustrating. I want to say I absolutely hate it, and I'm just looking to get as many minutes as I can when I can. Basically, I need to run a games, but I'm not the only one. It's something every player wants and needs. There are players in the squad who are creating chances, and to be part of that would be great. So Jackson got.
You sound like you're reading out a blankety blank clue.
I'm like Bradley Walsh. So Matthew, the question to you is: Tuesday.
Joe Pigott wants blank. Joe Pigott wants blank.
Yes. To get Joe Pigott running games, we must blank what blank.
Look, I'm in two minds with Joe Pigott here. I get what he's saying. He does need to run a games. It must be very difficult for him just to go from training to the bench back to training, and you're never involved in a match day. And when you are, you come on for 5-10 minutes. But he didn't look anywhere near the striker that scored 20 goals, did he? He's
not doing enough in the games that I know it's split part games, but there's as many cup games as there is league, or so it seems. Yeah. And he plays in all of them. And with the exception of that one from Gillingham, where he could have had a hatful away, Gillingham away. I don't think he's really impressed at any time. He looks well short of confidence. He's missed 2 penalties in 2 shootouts in the same end. I mean, that's quite an achievement, really. Yeah. So I can see, of course, he has to come out and say that, because if he comes out and says, you know what, actually, I'm happy with on the bench. I'm really suffering from mental health. It's not going to happen, is it? Come on, he's going to come out and say that he wants to play. So
yeah, but
I know what he's saying, but I don't think he's done enough to put himself ahead of Bond, even on Bond's off base.
But in all fairness, Matt,
he's not going to run his bollocks off, is he? He's sort of up there on his own, and he's holding the ball up.
Yeah. And on Tuesday's show, we were talking, me, Neil, and Steve, about the chemistry of it all. And he says himself, actually, he might be watching the show. Yes, but you still want to get out there. I just hope I'll get some more time on Saturday as a player. You want to build rhythm, and everything starts to come naturally once you get that. It's been tough, but hopefully it will come. And as a striker, I would ask Rob, but he would never know. He never played up front. Sorry, Rob. I
was more, floating around in the 10 before 10 was a thing.
Oh, you were floating? Just not where you were going with it. Yeah. Nobody ever knew.
I was on the bench in a 4-4-2. That's where I was.
Matt, the rhythm and the movement of a striker, and more importantly, players that need to find those strikers. You get that through games, don't you? Like, you're not going to get, I don't know, who is in midfield on Wednesday, sorry. You're not going to get Idris El Mazzani able to know what run Joe Pigott wants, because he's never really played with Joe Pigott.
Well, but you would assume, it's difficult to assume, isn't it? You would assume that they work on that in training. But I can't see Pigott playing tomorrow. I wouldn't mind betting Caden Jackson plays tomorrow.
Love Caden.
Because Cook did say, to some of the performances have given me food for thought. Part of me was thinking they're never going to play.
He's out wide. And Caden Jackson, I mean, he's at 4-1 of him to get sent off any game, firstly. And for him to put in a whole game performance rather than the half would be an achievement as well. So, I mean...
You could see Caden again. And I think you probably... He said
I'm still waiting to see him in the second half Wednesday, sorry.
So can I put you down for a Caden fan or not then, Rob? So I'm taking the sense.
I think, do you know what? Actually, I could do quite like him as a player. He just disappoints me every time I see him.
That's life.
Too many Lambert memories.
That's any town player, that, isn't it? I like him as a player, but he disappoints me.
I remember when Norwood and Jackson was the 100 points, 100 goal strikers. Now they get 100 minutes. They were doing well between them.
Can he get 100 minutes in the season? Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's really good. I like that.
It was probably arguably the season before last, where I can't even remember now. Lockdown's fired my brain. He was probably player of the year, wasn't he? He had the most goals, he had the most assists. He got that. Was it the brace at Tranmere? We got the winner at Tranmere.
He's better than probably most strikers we've had.
I don't think he plays in a one up front on his own. He's got to be with someone. Actually, to be honest, I've thought this before. Him and Pigott as a front two, in as opposed to someone else and Pigott, I think might work better, because Pigott needs people around him. That's always the problem. If you do get up to him, he's isolated. Bond is better isolated.
So what about Bond?
If you're going to isolate someone, Bond's the guy.
You might see Jackson and Bond tomorrow, Rob.
I don't know. He always plays Jackson wide of a front three, doesn't he? Of a three behind the striker.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So
honestly, I think you've got more chance of seeing Pigott. You've got more chance of seeing Norwood play down the middle this season than Jackson.
Yeah,
Jackson will be out wide if he comes in. He'll be one of those many players that's in the three.
I agree. But I mean,
All right.
if you can experiment against a League Two team that's, you know, just above the relegation zone.
He just needs a win, though. I think he'll
going
play a
to.
strong team because he just needs a win now. He needs Bond to score and he needs a win. So I think he just gets.
We'll come to that a bit later on because I have got a few cookie comments about the team. But before we move on, last word to Rob: is Joe Pigott now behind Caden Jackson in the pecking order?
Well, like I said, I don't think Jackson's going to play down the middle, but you can't argue that Jackson did come out of that game with more credit than Pigott did. And I think of the two, Jackson looks like he's sort. I feel like Pigott has sort of come in a bit of a hype, and he's sort of dropped down the pecking order a bit, whereas Jackson looks like he's on the way up from nowhere. Yeah, from the under 23s or no squad number, whatever it was. He looks like he's on a revival, whereas Pigott looks like he's on the descent.
That's a good point. And also, what you got to bear in mind, last word really, is that he's obviously kept his head down, worked hard, kept his nose clean, and you know, got a good attitude around the place because he's been told he can go third, fourth, fifth choice, and you know, here he is, possibly on the verge of reviving his time at Town or playing for the move away. You know, January's around the corner. It's just letting the world know that Caden Jackson's still a striker that can find the net, and he did find it quite well. Right. I suppose it's to both of you. I suppose some fans are drama queens. We've joked about it today, but obviously, you know, Cookie said that we were drama queens. Basically, he said, I think no different from all supporters. You always get good supporters, in my opinion. You have genuine conversations about the club. That'll be us. You always get people in the modern world now, those social media who are just drama queens, if you like. They're just drama queens in my world. And adding further, I don't have to explain myself. Our supporters just want to see action. That's all they want. That's all they want to see. We can't be promoted in December. Our club's fortunes are not going to be changed with a magic wand. Our club's fortunes will be changed on habits, culture, work ethic, and those three words he likes to spout every week have been joined by recruitment. New word for you. By the end of the season, we might have a whole list of words of what we are. That's how football is. If football fans aren't patient enough to wait, that's the game we're in today. Apparently, we've had one bad performance, as long as he can remember. Rotherham at home. That's the truth of it. What's your thoughts on that, Matt, as you hear that and obviously hear the word drama queens, etc.?
I always love like how managers are like experts on what's going on in social media, even though they're not on social media. Like Paul Lambert was the same, wasn't he? I'm not affected by what's on social media. And if the rumours was said to be true with the Birmingham Mail, he says
unplugging his router in his office at home. Yeah,
he had it all stuck up on his wall.
We know they do for the Tottenham documentary, don't we? With Jose Mourinho sitting there doing his whatever, I don't know, let's say word search, whatever he's doing, and he is the Sky Sports nurse. Oh, fucking shit, and turns it off. You know, we know they hear us.
Yeah, I really feel like Paul Cook's on this slippery slide to the sacking right now. Because you know, we've played 20 games, right, Rob, and we've not got 3 points in 65% of those matches. So where is he thinking that we've played well in a lot of these games? We've won 7 games. We've got.
I would say we haven't played well in. I'm not sure. The thing is, I find myself agreeing with some of his comments, like the things that he says about how you improve a club, like the habits and all that. I agree with that. The problem is that what he says we need to do to improve is not the things that we're doing. It's the things we should be doing. We're not doing them. That's what it appears to be to me. So he's doing that classic thing of he knows what needs to be done, but he's not getting it done.
But how many performances have you seen? If you're in the stadium, we've been watching an iPhone, right?
Well, Rob, not many.
Yeah, a bit of both. I think
really good performance.
I don't think for me we've not had a complete performance. We've blown away Wickham in half an hour. We've blown away Portsmouth in half an hour. We've blown away other teams without getting 3-4 goals in half an hour. But I don't see us putting in a good hour. I don't see us putting in a good half even. Maybe a half, but not 90 minutes, not 60 minutes. The games, even Doncaster was in the balance until we all of a sudden just clicked and it went off.
It was about the 70.
We have really productive spells, but I think that we can't keep control of any game. We've lost control of games against passing teams. We've lost controls of games against teams like Cheltenham, who never once had a shot from open play but won the game.
Yeah.
We've lost control of every game, of every different type of game, and for me that just says that we can't turn out good performances for 45, let alone 90 minutes. And for me, really, that's why he keeps changing that 3 behind the striker, because no 3 of them makes a case every single time to be staying in the team. Everyone does a good game, but someone else doesn't, so he changes someone else, and then the next time someone else and someone else and someone else.
Yeah,
those 3 change every time. The back 4 stays the same. The keeper, the 2 CDMs, the striker all stays the same. Those 3 players rotate like hell.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely right. And it speaks volumes, isn't it, that the clubs we've beaten at home are the bottom 3 clubs. and Shrewsbury, who were just a little bit above the relegation zone. You know, we got lucky against Morecambe. We got lucky against Sheffield Wednesday. We got lucky against Fleetwood. You know, we've not played well in a lot of games this season. I would say probably we played really well against Doncaster, and that's about it. We threw the 2-goal lead at Cambridge. We blew a lead at Accrington. Come on, this is a manager now that's kind of battling for his Ipswich Town career.
I think this is. I've been saying this to Martin, and newsflash, we don't agree on it. But I think my perception is that under previous managers and things, we've always given them a season, 2 seasons. I've always said that we gave Lambert 2.5 seasons, whatever it was. He had time to get his feet under the table, get his methods working, try it out, and succeed or fail. Right? He had time to do that. That's what Evans' hallmark was. Whether he was interested and that's how it happened, I don't know, but that's how it ended up. And I think now everything's changed. A lot of good things have happened, but it hasn't materialised on the pitch. We're in roughly the same place as we were last season and the season before, really, roughly. I just think because of what's happened with the ownership, a lot of people have now got a longer fuse. If this had been, XYZ manager with Evans as the owner in last season's team, of course, he would be now under the cosh for me because it wouldn't be happening. I just think that the owners coming in have given a lot of people a longer fuse before they lose faith. That's why you see people, I've said to Martin, I'm willing to give Paul Cook a season to make it work, right? Some people are saying promotion next season, whatever. That's why people are saying that, I think, because the owners have changed the perception. Sorry?
You've got half a season left on that one then.
Who's half a season? No, of course, I know what you're saying, but that's why I completely get it, because with this team and the loan signs you've got in, it makes perfect sense that we should be trying to get promoted today, now, tomorrow. But I think with these owners that we've got to give them the chance to prove that they'll make the right decision. If they think Cook needs to go, they will make that call themselves. I don't think, like Evans, I feel like need to be pushed into it, really pushed into it. Like he only got interested in the club when there was really no way back for whoever's in charge. And I think with these owners, they're better at what they do, and they'll make the decision when they think it's right, and it'll probably be a lot earlier than Marcus Evans if they feel that way.
I would like to see Ipswich become a sacking club. Now everyone goes, Ipswich is not a sacking club. Newsflash. Ipswich aren't a club that win trophies. What we've done in the last 20 years, we've got relegated to League One. We've been treading water for 20 years, absolute mediocrity. So come on, let's start making, tear up the rule book, tear up what's been Ipswich previous. We've got American ownership. There's a new way of thinking. Let's make quick decisions and try and press ahead, because we were told this is the season. And right I think they are. I think they have changed the way of the club. I don't see them holding on to a manager because that's the Ipswich way. You could say that is what's happening, but I don't see it. They've come in and changed everything. Just go to the ground; it looks different. It looks like we've moved stadiums without moving stadiums. Easy win. Easy win, Rob.
Yeah, of course. I know. But you didn't see that from Evans. So what I'm saying is, I think they have changed a lot, and I have no doubt that if they think Cook's not doing the job, they will sack him the same day as they make that decision. I think they're ruthless. So what it says to me is that they're willing to give him time because he's still here on the 3rd
How
of
much
December.
time does he need? I gave him time. He had back in the last season, took us from the playoffs to mid-table, and we're nearer the relegation zones than we are Rotherham. I honestly don't know how much time they're going to give him, and I don't think anyone really does. There's Lambert. Look, but Lambert would have been gone by now. He'd been so far gone. We'd be fast asleep.
He'd be managing Barrow against us tomorrow, Lambert. He can't even get that job. No, I just think that they will make I trust these owners to make the right call, whereas I didn't trust Evans to do that.
True.
Look, Les, it's only the vocal minority calling for Cook's head. What bloody hell? This is Ipswich Town mid-table in League One, with the biggest resources, the biggest budget, the biggest everything in the division.
You've got the split. You look at that comment there, right? The sensible majority understand it might take a bit longer. I mean, that's obviously, you could say the sensible part is digging at the other side. But I think that the point is right. I think there's a lot of people that think it will take longer. And I think that's what, there's a split. There's always a split in the fan base. Always is. But this is a different split, before.
He's taking the piss.
Yeah, but for me, it's not, I'm just, we'll move on in a second. For me, it's not about, taking time. It's going to take this, that, or the other. We're 11th and we're quite away from the playoffs. So this is League One, where let's get a handle on the situation. There's probably 6 to 8, maybe 10 now good teams, and the rest are shit. I wouldn't even say that. I'd say there's less than that.
Well, we're 11th.
So, not only are you not involved in the top 6 or 7 or 8 of the division, you're also on the outside looking of
there's no
teams.
doubt. We're in the really average bunch. We're better than the Shrewsburys and all that, but we really are in the middle. And I think, to be honest, we're never going to be happy in League One. Let's not kid ourselves.
We shouldn't be. We shouldn't
be top, and if we lost 3 games in a row, people are going to be pissed off. Believe me, Charlton unhappy, Sunderland unhappy, Sheffield Wednesday unhappy. The size of Hillsborough, they're playing Accrington. They took more fans to Accrington than Accrington did. It's ridiculous. These clubs aren't happy. We'll never be happy in this division. That's clear. But I just think that
isn't it?
I think people are willing to invest more time now than they were before, and that's a bizarre thing to say because we've already wasted 2 years down here, and I get that. So why would you waste another season and another season? Why would you waste 4 when you can only waste 3? But I just think people have got longer fuse because of the owners, and I think they've got more, whether that's the manager or the pitch or whatever.
Yeah, I think a fan, a lot of people, everyone's a fan in a different way. Some people are just happy to come along and watch decent football. They want to win, of course, but if it's decent or better than previous years, that's okay. Others, like me, I'm desperate. I'd sell a body part to get up. I'm sick of League One.
You happily be Rotherham tomorrow. It doesn't matter how you play. I know what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. To get back to where we were under Mick, where I was unhappy with how we were playing, you have to swallow your pride and do a whole lot. Because if we were, I don't know, on square 99 under Mick, we're now on square 76. We've gone so far backwards since that point where I felt we had a good squad that should have been playing better football, that I would do anything to get ourselves back there to then have that argument and have that conversation. But for me, as a fan, I knew it would take time. I just want to see green shoots. But I'm currently seeing a manager that can't change a game in the middle of one, and that makes me worry. But we are where we are, and we have got a game tomorrow, which I have got a ticket for, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be going. So I'd like the chat to try and convince me why I should be going. Because right now, I'll be honest, guys, I'm 80%. What the flip am I doing? Like, I'm a drama queen. The football's not great. It's going to be freezing cold. Why am I going to bother, Matt?
Because you're sitting next to me.
Convince me why I'm going, not convince me why I'm not going.
Listen, look, fair play to Little Barrow. Look, everyone's been a little bit patronising about them. But I mean, look, this is a team. This team have done more than we've done in the last 10 years. They won the FA Trophy in 2010. I was there, Big Steve.
I really hope that's not their biggest achievement.
At Wembley, a stadium we've not played at, the new Wembley. Conference North champions, 2015, and in 2019-20 they won the National League and got into the Football League.
I was having a chat today, Matt, with somebody, and she said, "What are you doing at the weekend?" I said, "Well, I'm going to football." She went, "Oh, who are you playing?" I went, "Barrow." She went, "Where are they?" I haven't got a clue. I had to Google where in the world Barrow was, but it says it all. I mean, and I was in the parrot shed this afternoon. The Christmas songs came on. I was singing, the Feed the World song, whatever that's called. Band-Aid. And I got into the Christmas spirit and I thought, you know what, tomorrow, instead of freezing my knackers off at Portman Road, I could maybe have some Christmas songs, do some decorations with the family, spend some time with my son. Why, if I'm,
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it. I think the majority, if this game was being streamed, I think the majority of people would just be staying at home tomorrow. But
Colin said it's the FA Cup.
I've got my ticket. The Cruncher's going to be there. He's got his ticket.
We all know I'm going to be there. We all know I'm going to be there. But Colin says it's the FA Cup. That means nothing to me, I'm afraid.
Well, it's a competition we've done nothing in since. It's
a competition we haven't treated with respect for 10 odd years. And you can throw the Carabao Cup in there as well, frankly.
Fans my age.
We've got like the 92nd worst record out of 94 teams in the 92. I mean, 92nd out of 94. Sorry, 90th out of 92.
What I'd like to see, Rob, is Ipswich draw Man City in the third round at Portman Road.
Oh, yeah, get Hammer in there.
Only go if you went to Oldham and Barrow. I'd like to see that.
Well, I've got my ticket, so I've gone, technically.
I think we've not treated the Cups with respect. It doesn't really bother me if that goes on for another season. We're in the second round. I mean, what if we get to the third round and we get knocked out by Preston at home or something? Hold my beer. I mean, come on. It's not important. It's important if we treat it seriously, but we don't. So I'm not bothered, to be honest. Well, it's just embarrassing, as Matt already summed it up for me. It's another these cup games against these minnows as such. Thank God we didn't draw Sudbury, by the way. It's just a way to find new lows for a club. We thought we'd hit the bottom, and yet we still keep digging little holes in there, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
No, we got outplayed over 2 games by Oldham.
Yeah, we should have gone out at Ball Road with that penalty.
We could have gone out at Boundary Park as well on another day. I mean, Walton played some outstanding saves, didn't he? But there again, look, we've come down from the Premier League. It could be worse. We could be them, right?
But yeah, I mean, by the same token, Andrew's comment there. You'll go because you're a Town fan. You know, I'm not down with blind loyalty. I see that a lot with the aways following. You know, everyone's putting in the hard yards, going up and down the country. Cruncher does it. Lots of people on this in the comments there do it. I take my hat off to you. I think it's fantastic. But this club is not producing the results that warrants that loyalty at the moment.
Well, I'm going to go. Let's be honest. It's me. I'm going to go. Of course, I'm going to go. It's Cruncher looking forward to the replay at Barrow.
I've seen a lot of people say that because there's no people are thinking there'll never be another chance to go to Barrow away for 92 and things, which kind of does make sense.
Win the league next season.
Never thought we'd play Accurate and Stanley in the league, but here we are. Right, tomorrow, strongest team possible. Cook did say, I think one of the things our fans will be comfortable with is how difficult it is at the minute, for whatever reason, to pick what we deem our strongest Ipswich Town team. I think due to the changes in the summer where we recruit a lot of good players, no doubt about it. When he was asked about, Bond or Piggott, he said, again, the selection matters, our selection matters, aren't they? For supporters who want to see certain players. The reality for Macaulay Bonne, if you'd spoken 4 weeks ago about leaving Bonne out of the team, then you wouldn't have been allowed in Ipswich Town Centre. And now 4 weeks later in football, we are speaking about him being left out. So what's your 11 for tomorrow? Because he says it might be a strong team. He's indicating he'll play his strongest possible team, which, we've heard that before from various managers. But Oldham, he did play a strong team. Are you expecting a strong team? Do you want a strong team? What are we thinking ahead of tomorrow then? Barrow at home.
I'll go. I was going to say, he said he wanted 3 wins this week, didn't he? Really, yeah. He should have had them. But we were 2-0 up and cruising on Wednesday. Sorry, I mean we should have seen that through. And then we go into this game. Winning mentality in those games is pretty poor thing to say. Rob, but winning games is winning games. You can only play what's in front of you. So I wanted to go and win these 3 games this week. I wouldn't have been convinced if we had, but it would have been something. You talk about green shoots, that would have been something.
Yeah, but he says a lot about the words he says, culture, habits, whatever it piss him was with the recruitment on the end of it.
Habits, yeah.
I'm going to give you a habit of this football team, and I want you to tell me if you think it's right or not.
They're ballers.
We cannot hold a lead. We concede the lead all far too often, and that is now a habit of this football team.
I think it's a habit of this football club. You just put the second team out and they've done the same thing against possibly worse opposition, maybe technically better, but worse in terms of overall. I do agree. It's a habit. It's mentality. It has to be, doesn't it? You just, like I said, you lose control of games. It seems to be to me that when we play the top teams in League One, I think actually if we drew a Championship side in the Cup, I think we'd give them a game because I think the better the team we play, we go with the standard of the opposition. So if we're playing, I don't know, who's top of the Championship, Bournemouth or something, I think we'd probably lose, don't be wrong, but we'd be closer to them than you'd think. Whereas if we play Barrow or Oldham, all of a sudden we're matching them instead. I think we go with the other team and we're capable of getting rolled over by anyone, but also scoring against anyone. Sorry, Matt.
We didn't see that against Rotherham, though, did we? Top of the table in League
One. Well, I just think you've seen us play the extremes of lows, under 21s, bottom of League Two, and so on and so on and so on. We haven't outclassed any of them. But then we've gone to somewhere like Wycombe, Portsmouth, not the best teams, but relatively strong League One teams. And we've bettered them or we've been at their level. So I think we're capable of dropping or raising to quite a lot of levels. But the problem is that is inconsistent, isn't it? And that is the problem. That's why we're 11th or whatever it is in the league, because we can't put a run of, I was going to say 3 wins, but we can't put a run of 2 wins together, frankly.
Well, mate, look, Cook said he wanted 3 wins. He's already found in his own.
He should have had them. There's no way in a million years we should have thrown that away. But if we can see it when we can see 1 goal, then that those players know it's coming as well, and that is a problem. They looked like they were waiting for the equaliser after Arsenal got 1, didn't they?
It worries me that these professionals that we paid a lot of money for, and people that have dropped down in divisions, are that fragile mentally.
They really are. It's true. I agree. Like with that midfield of Morsey and Evans, I think we look stronger, but then when we can see the goal, we think, well, that looks really weak. We look stronger. It's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Because we look stronger for a lot of the game, but then when we concede, it looks completely opaque. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's really, when we can see goals, it's really average, really poor goals. That first Rotherham goal, he just strolled to the middle of Suffolk, man. Might as well have gone down the A14, mightn't he? I mean, straight at the heart of us.
He had five
I
blue
didn't
sheets
see
around him, that kid.
people are saying he beat a couple of players. I think someone's got to put a tackle in him to beat a player. He just drifted through, didn't he?
He did. Chris Marsden-esque.
God.
Yeah.
God forbid. Yeah, it was a bit like that in some ways.
It was. Gary Denny, Barrow have already worked out how to beat our 4-2-3-1 and looking forward to taking a big scalp. Colin, we don't know.
You wouldn't rule it out, would you? You wouldn't rule it out.
Colin's gone.
They've not scored in 4 games, Barrow. 4 league games.
Oh, well, welcome to Portman Road, where everyone scores.
Sunderland hadn't won since 2016 when we went up there, mate.
Yeah.
Sunderland hadn't won since pre-Netflix.
We are the cure to all ills. I do like Friday night shows because Colin gets himself into the real positive mentality. I love it. You know, it says here, look, we don't know that though. We could beat anyone with Lady Luck on our side. Mark Downing, if we don't win tomorrow with a strong team, we're getting that dreaded public backing from the board, I suggest, which doesn't usually end well. Ollie says Cook can't do anything about KV1 and Hadadki gifting 2 goals from nowhere. And having dropped down Matt with no prospect of those players getting back to the championship, will they want away in January?
Well, who would take them? You're mid-table League One players right now.
Derby?
No one's looking at No one's looking at anything. Season, right? We need to get them in. You know, they're stuck here and we're stuck with them. You know what I mean? They're bombed underwhelmed.
I think you said someone said about Barrow and already knows how to beat our 4-2-3-1, right? That's obviously a joke, but the point is still valid, isn't it? Because they know we're going to play that. They know very well. That's page 1, paragraph 1 on your research of Ipswich, isn't it?
Yep.
And you can guarantee. And I think if it does go south to Paul Cook and he does get the boot or whatever happens, I think it will be his stubbornness to change the formation at any time, not just overall, but even within your games. If we're 2-0 down at home to Rotherham, put 2 strikers on at 65 minutes. I'd rather lose the game 3-0 than not try and get something back.
Well, this is it, right?
And it'll be his stubbornness that costs him if it goes that way for sure.
Well, look at this conversation. Bon or Piggott. Like, it's an FA Cup game. Why can't we be talking about playing Bon and Piggott? Like, you're playing Barrow at home.
Piggott, yeah. I personally would rest Bon and put 2 up front, someone in Piggott. Like, I don't know how Norwood is, but
Jackson and Piggott.
That's one question that's never asked, Rob, in the media conference. It's never ever asked. We know Cook doesn't like talking about specific players, which I think is weird anyway. Why the 4-2-3-1? Why is he so stuck on that? What is it about that formation that he's so glued to? And I
think these days every manager tries to have an identity. People don't go in to manage a group of players; they go in to manage their style, their approach on a group of players. It's a manager, whereas I think because it's worked from before, he probably came in when he had the interview. I would imagine he said, "This is how I play. This is how I'm going to play. If you want me, this is what you're going to get." And we'll make it work, I'm guessing, something like that. So everyone probably knew at the club that that's what he was going to play and that was the approach he was going to go. Now, he's going to stick to it because, of course, if he changes formations and it goes even worse, then he's going to like twice the mug, isn't he? So I just think he knows how to work it. For whatever reason, it's not working, but I still don't see him changing it. I really don't. No. Successful or not, I don't see him changing it. I think he will stick to it till the very end of whatever the end is.
Yeah. And he will go to another club after Ipswich and he'll do exactly the same tactics again.
Essentially, yeah.
And it'll be a success. And that's football. Sometimes in football it works really well and sometimes it doesn't. So I'll run through some players and you can tell me if you think they're going to play tomorrow. We've got Christian Walton. Do you think Walton or Haladki in goal then, Rob?
Yeah, I think Walton will be in goal tomorrow.
I think Walton will be in goal, yeah.
Yeah. Back for, do you think KV White right back? Or Danassian?
I think we'll see Danassian tomorrow.
I think we'll see KVY. I would have said, I was saying on Twitter and stuff that no one put a claim in for getting the first team. But I think if there was anyone, I would have said it was him.
Okay.
And Danassian's crucial, so they'll rest him, I think.
All right. So Danassian, KVY. Alongside them, do you think it'll be Toto and Edmondson back in?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to play a team as near as we possibly can to Charlton. It's a great warm-up game for the Charlton game, which is a huge game, by the way.
So who's your left back? The problem position of Ipswich Town.
This is the problem. We've had 4 already, and we've still got the problem.
Where's Danny Mills when you need him?
Yeah,
hopefully retired. We've already got enough problems.
Bailey, I think. He'll go with Bailey, I think.
Bailey Clemens.
There's a problem there. We conceding too many goals from there, and we always have been this season.
If only you had a centre half that you'd paid. I've got in my head that we paid nearly £1 million for Burgess. I don't know where I've got that from. I don't know if I've dreamt it. But if only
he hasn't got enough about him. He's a stay-at-home left-back, which, don't be wrong, in some ways is an advantage. But in the modern-day fullback game, I don't see it.
I was going to say, if only you had a centre half that I think played in a back three at Ackworth and Stanley, and you've got a player in Matt Penny who can't defend but can go forward, almost like an attacking wing back. Would you say? Oh, does that say 3-5-2? Possibly so. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to try and put your players in my opinion, in the best positions, Matt.
Yeah, I totally agree. I
would say though, if you're going to play a winger out wide, we've got significantly better wingers than Penny or Vincent Young or Donatian. So left and right back. I would say if you're going to do that, then you play. I mean, you could play any of them out there. I would say, someone like Chaplin, for example, would be a better from that position going forward than any of the other left or right back options. So I don't know. Personally, I would would say again, I think there's a hole in the squad at left back. We've got options there, but I don't see any that are really high enough quality.
Rob, do you think that in January that's a position where we might try and find someone? Because Coulson can't stay fit, can he? Unfortunately.
Well, I don't know his current situation, but it would seem not. So I think they'll go and get someone there, because the fact that we're seeing Bailey Clements, as much as I'm happy for him and everything, I know it's great, but the fact that we're seeing him, and we've seen Miles Kenlock's actually 5 left backs this season. No, not one of them has knocked the position down permanently. Not one of them. 5 options, and not one of them has really held it down.
The thing is, Rob, KV White can play left back. He played about 70 times for Colchester left back. So why don't they try and
he's still having nightmares about a lad from Bolton, isn't he? Absolutely destroyed him in that first 20 minutes. He was gone. I thought he was retiring when he went off a pitch.
Yeah. What was his name? Was it
Adalorian or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adeline, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah.
I do see him going into the market for a left back, definitely, because the fact they've played 5 players there and no one's fixed it down says everything.
Colin's the new Graham Harvey.
Only because Colin really likes Matt Penny. In midfield, then, is it Morsey and Evans, Morsey and Fraser, Morsey and Harper? Who's the 2, Rob?
I think he's got a bit of faith with. I don't know if it'll be Morsey and Fraser, or Evans and Fraser, but I think it'll be someone and Fraser. Okay. So I'll say Morsey, but I do probably just for the captain role more than anything. But I think he's got faith with Fraser there. I'm not necessarily sure if it's the right thing to do, but I think he's got faith in him there. So I'm going to go Morsey and Fraser.
Okay. Out wide on the left, Matt, another position that's not quite
wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open. You're right. Absolutely good, great way of saying it, Matt. Who are you playing there?
Well, quickly going back to the middle, mine. I do feel like if Morsey gets a yellow tomorrow, he's out of the Charlton game.
That's right.
The FA Cup games go towards the league games. So I just wonder if he might sit down tomorrow and he might see someone different there. But out on the left, tough one, isn't it? I don't like Fraser over there because I don't feel like he's got any impact. I would probably go with Edwards, in all honesty. But the problem with Edwards, no end product. He's got all the skill. He's got all the flair. He's got the pace. Fantastic. He cannot put a cross in to save his life. I feel like I can cross the ball better than him. But, at least he gets on the ball. At least he's trying. At least he's trying to make something happen. There's an argument there, Rob, that he's trying too hard sometimes.
Yeah, I think I was about to say that. At the start of the season, it seemed to be an absolute breeze for him. And he picked up the ball and he was past 3 players before you could even say Villa Park. It was flying for him, wasn't it? Whereas now he's still beating players, but he looks like he's trying so hard to get a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
But he does drag us up the pitch, and he does provide. He's one of those players. He gets himself in a position and doesn't deliver the ball, but he can still win perhaps a free kick, maybe even a penalty or a throw in an attacking position or a corner. I'm not sure we've got anyone else that does that. Selena's best football for the club in the first spell was from the left wing, cutting inside. So personally, I would like to see him there and really give him some time. He's not a Cam for me. We're trying to make it's not a football manager. He can do it, but that's not his best position. Stick him out on the left and let him come in on his right.
Yeah. As you've just mentioned it, I will just say on Football Manager 2022, I've just won the UEFA Cup. You can all thank me now.
Who with Man City or
no? Ipswich.
Wow.
There's not a single player. I will. Yeah, Michael O'Leary has just said he wants to take the club to the new level and build a stadium. Stick it in my name, Mike. But anyway, as you mentioned, Football Manager, I thought I'd drop that in there. Who's up front? So Bond's up front. I imagine we're all going to agree because he's not going to play Piggott. He seems to have, I don't know, I wouldn't say lost a bit of faith in Piggott, but he seems to have, just
he's not helping. Piggott's not helping himself, as Rob said.
I think he's underwhelmed by Piggott. I would say.
Yeah.
I'm underwhelmed by Piggott. For me, I think the whole reason we're struggling, and you remember when we got the win at Wickham and we were sort of looked like we were starting to click and things were starting to go in that way just for a little bit, and then we had those games against Oldham and it all started to go off again, didn't it? For me, the problem is that we haven't got Wes Burns. not only you talk about Edwards, he's obviously got the ability to go past people and whatnot, but no end product. Wes Burns has got the end product and he's got the pace. When he's not in the team, we're too slow. We don't get to the byline. All of Bond's goals virtually have come from cutbacks where he's just standing in the middle of the box. There's nothing like that going in anymore. I think without Wes Burns, we're in trouble. But if you get him back, I don't know if he's fit. I have no idea. But if you get him back, I think the season can still pick up.
Wes is back on the grass. There's
ITK
crunch. He's back.
He's the key for me because he unlocks defenses at a time when no one else, when it's all passive.
Yeah.
He has been one of our better players, and that has surprised me. I
do feel like Jackson's going to be involved somehow tomorrow.
I was just about to say, if Burns isn't fit, I think he'll play Jackson on the right side of the front three.
Not Aluko.
I think he'll rest Aluko. I don't think Aluko's got a lot of games and minutes in him consecutively and whatnot. So I think he might come on for Jackson, but I think if Jackson will start personally. If Burns isn't fit, I would start Burns every game of the season if he was fit. But I don't think he isn't, is he?
Les Bailey, Piggott better first touch and highlight play than Bond. Simon Harris, Aluko played well versus Crewe. He did. Finished fishing with Nick. When Aluko scored the other day, it was from the byline and Bond was waiting just like Burns.
That was an own goal. That was an own goal.
That was an own goal. But Bond was right behind him to tap it in.
Yeah,
right.
It's the same thing, yep.
Yeah. Score prediction then. Jackson in the bin, says Cruncher. Not a surprise. What's your score prediction for tomorrow then, guys? What are we thinking?
I think we will win the game. I don't know how entertaining it's going to be. I don't know how convincing it will be. I think we'll probably win 2-0. 2-0 for me.
Okay, Rob?
Yeah, I think likewise. I think we'll win the game, but I think it'll be unconvincing. And to be honest, if we look at this week, we've gone 2-0 up against Crewe, conceded 1, got away with it. We've gone 2-0 up against Arsenal, conceded 2, didn't get away with it. I think we'll go 2-0 up again. I think we'll concede 1, and then they hanging on and probably get through it again, much like Crewe.
Yeah.
Are you coming?
No, I'm not going to go. No.
The
atmosphere is too much for me. Obviously, with these late nights, the strength of the atmosphere and how loud it's going to be at Barrow at home, I just can't handle it anymore.
I can't blame you. We've got various amounts of predictions in the chat. We've got Stephen Parry 3-0. Never stop being positive, Stephen.
Doesn't say.
It's going to be Town with Stephen. He's Mr. Positive. Chris Boyd 2-0. Simon Harris 2-2-all. 1-1 from Harry. 3-0 from Les. 4-0 from Colin. 2-0 defeat, says Mike D. I
do worry. I will say one thing. If we go behind, I worry for us.
Yeah.
I would rather get beat than have a replay.
I sympathise with that. We don't need it, and especially as Martin.
That's not good going into the Charlton game, though, is it?
No, it's not. But at the same time, a draw is going to be. You might as well have lost it. Everyone's going to be deflated. It's a lose-lose tomorrow. You win, you should have won. If you lose or draw, you might as well have lost. Martin's already got his Google Maps out to find how far Barrow is. No one needs that journey. No one.
No, I'm not going.
You might as well just go the whole hog and go and play Rangers, which are probably similar to Barrow anyway.
The only people that would go are the ones that are ticking off this 92 bollocks.
That'd be me. I'm probably that guy. I don't know how the hell I'm swinging that. Literally, I don't know. But
I don't know why you bothered doing that. But there we go. Well, that's a segment for another show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think obviously it's another fixture in the fixture list as well. So for me, I would rather lose than have a replay.
But another fixture might be good because we keep hearing from Cook, consistency, inconsistency. Perhaps
and I know if it goes to a replay, it's going to be put on the fucking BBC, and we're going to get embarrassed on a national televised audience.
Pick the bones out of that, Mick McCarthy. Isn't that what says? Yeah.
I think we've got quite a tough December. I think we've got Wigan, we've got Sunderland, I believe we've got Wickham.
Yep, and Lincoln and Gillingham.
Steve Evans' teams, they're never great, but you never get an easy win against them either, do you? So,
no,
he's obviously in trouble there at the moment. But I think we've got a tough December.
Yeah,
so
December's the big one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think for me, go out, win, just get a win. Like we should have won 3 games this week, including Wednesday and tomorrow. If we got them, let's restart it again tomorrow. Let's start December and move forward. We need to win tomorrow to get things moving, to get that mentality right. Because he will play at least some. Probably half the team will be the starting team against Charlton.
Yeah, I would probably play the starting team against Charlton tomorrow. But you're right, Rob. And like the conversation, the interview we had with Connor Chaplin showed that there's a real unity behind the scenes. There's a real kind of togetherness, the good team spirit. For whatever reason, that is not transferring onto the pitch.
Agree.
I don't know why.
I think this is behind the scenes in the club. Everything is ticking all the boxes, and this is part of my thing. Why I think people are giving it more time, because it's not like you see players coming out and there's not signs of unrest anywhere apart from the fact it's not working on the pitch. That's the only sign. So that's why I think that people are more patient. Perhaps you'll get more time than you might think, because it's not all going wrong. You know, it's not hitting the heights we hoped it would.
No, exactly.
No, I agree.
As punters, as season ticket holders, you know, fans should demand better.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're still happy to go. Look at the Sunderland number of how many people can be there. 27, 28. I don't know what it's up to, but it's going to be a lot of people. That is a lot of faith in that team. A lot of faith. I know Sunderland will bring 3,000. You can expect that, but that's big faith from our town and our support base that we all know is really there.
Yeah. I do say, and people are going to say, of course you're going to say that. This is why I think the club should do more of these things with us, but with the players, because you do come away from those interviews, and I did it when I was listening in the background producing it, really enthused, really excited, and really, if you're on the outside thinking it's not going well, wanting it to do well, and if you're on the other side, what be like Rob is and others want the patience, you're happy to be more patient because you feel it's going to be rewarded in the end. It's going to pay off. It's one of those that you either side really benefit from it. And I know you're obviously a drama queen, Matt, but even yourself, really excited, wanting it now to come good, aren't you?
Look, the only reason I sound so pissed off is because I'm so desperate for Ipswich to get back to the place they should be at.
The Premier League.
No one wants to wait another season to see Ipswich Town take a push to the Championship. It's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one because the owners coming in, being those players, saying all the things they said, I think got everyone's hopes up and revitalised the fan base, right? It did. Everything. Yeah. Evans is gone. Evans' name's come down from the stands, all the rest of that shite. So change everyone's perception. Everyone now thinks that we're going to get there. It's just a question of when. So everyone's hopes and expectations are up. Now, the reaction from some people is that they'll give it time to materialise and get there. But then other people are like, well, you've got our expectations up. Now deliver it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'm what's the phrase? I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go or whatever. I can't remember what the technology is. It's that thing, isn't it? We're sitting here ready. Like we're buzzing to watch the football team and then they deliver the performances they're delivering.
Yeah. Well, we will start tomorrow, hopefully, with a great week coming up. We've got Barrow, then Charlton, then Wigan. Obviously, the two league games are the most important, but an FA Cup journey is also good. The Crunchy says Beat is not the greatest, but Colin Plum says support the Kevin Beattie Day, greatest player in the club's history. I'll let them two battle that out on their private own WhatsApp. Get involved with that if you want at your own risk. But until tomorrow, I will be there. We'll be doing a show pre-game, post-game as always. But we're done for tonight, gentlemen. We've done the score predictions. It's all in the book. Go back to Romanian wine. Go back to your late nights as Dad, Mr. Davies. But until tomorrow at 1:50, I think, I am the Gov. He is the Don. He is the Media Mogul. This is an FCA finalist presentation of Talking Town. Subscribe, support us on Ko-Fi. All of that. You know the drill by now, you wonderful miracles. We'll see you tomorrow.
We're on a journey. Looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding